Might be a very happy St. Patrick's Day weekend, at least according to the news coming out of Boston. Bill Simmons, amongst other rumors, that Kevin Durant is considering the Boston Celtics in free agency. And Ja'Cory in the booth, a diehard Boston Celtics fan, and from Boston himself, which is KD receiving the Come to Boston chants when he played at the Garden, the TD Garden, recently.
If you need that interpreted, it was, come to Boston.
That's not bad.
Boston.
Doc, So, yeah, of course, by the way, the Boston Celtics fans are going to say come to Boston. Which makes sense. But then ESPN felt the need to throw out what I consider like a loaded question, or it just builds headlines around it, right? So they asked KD before the game, anytime there's the NBA and ESPN, they almost asked identical questions. So for big free agents in the summer, they asked him, what do you think about playing in Boston? What does it mean to you?
You see, all the guys plastered on the walls as you walk into the locker room, and that tradition of being a Boston Celtic is second to none. So, it's amazing playing here. The fans, they, very energetic, and they cheer for their team, man. And it's just amazing to see as a player to have fans that care about the game so much. So it's an amazing sports town, and they have a great team to cheer for.
All right, now we move to the post game.
Really quick.
Go for it.
They're automatically just disregarding the fact that he maybe could stay at OKC because they're just raining on the OKC badge at the back. It's just disastrous for OKC. There's just a big cloud there. They're not gonna keep their best player.
They're the Thunder.
I get it, but
when
still.
there's Thunder,
could be a good shooter.
Usually lightning,
dark
sometimes
cloud.
Rain.
Nah, it just looks like a negative Nancy for me.
And in Oklahoma, sometimes a tornado. It could have been the Oklahoma City Tornadoes. So then they asked KD after the game, not ESPN, but the post-game, I call this the post-game sit-down because KD's just kind of posted up in the hallway.
Chants from the Celtics fans.
I didn't hear that, man.
Yeah, when you were at the foul line, they were yelling,
I couldn't even understand what they were saying. They said that?
Yeah. What do you think of that?
I don't know. I don't know. No thoughts, really. I mean, I'm just happy we won.
All right, Francis, I'm not even close to done yet, my friend, because we have more elements.
Elements upon elements.
They have started the KD to Boston Twitter account page, which is number 7. It's got a ridiculous 35 followers. Bring KD to Boston. There you see KD in the number 8 jersey. Interesting choice by that Twitter account. And, of course, the quote that comes with that tradition of being a Boston Celtic is second to none. He's not wrong, but it's such a ridiculous thing. All right. Lastly, we have a 2-minute thing from Bill Simmons. I love Bill Simmons. Everyone knows this. I've said it a million times. Read his book. Big fan. But everyone knows that Bill Simmons is one of the most biased Boston Celtics fans in the world, and will find any reason to talk about the Celtics if he can.
The team they have now, they have a great coach. I think they have the best coach of any lottery team.
On his podcast, first he went to Twitter and said, oh, now I'm hearing ESPN saying that KD Boston rumors, I said this 6 days ago.
Yeah.
Right? So a little bit smug on the Simmons part there, but no problem. It picks up right when he's talking with Joe House, his guest, about the potential of KD coming to Boston. Take it away.
Here's how Kevin Durant ends up on the Celtics in July.
How dare you? Go ahead. I should have known.
What do you mean, how dare I?
Go ahead.
Are the Celtics the 7th best team in the NBA right now? They are. They're the 7th best team in the NBA. They're the 7th best record, House.
Congrats.
They've won 14 straight games at home. They're going to end up in the high 40s. We're going to win our bet on their over-under.
Knocking on wood. Don't want to jinx it. Knocking on wood.
They have Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, Avery Bradley, and Marcus Smart, and Olynyk, all under contract next year for, I think, $27 million combined. Right?
Very good.
So
Very good.
5 guys you can have in a 9-man rotation on a winning team. And Isaiah's an all-star. I mean, Isaiah's one of the best 20 guys in the league now. It's incredible, but it's true. The guy's like Tiny Archibald. Their cap space next year, if they got rid of Jerebko and they got rid of Amir Johnson, just didn't extend them, it's at $30 million. Right? The cap's going to be like, I think, at least 70. They have room for 2 max guys. They're also going to have a top 5 pick from Brooklyn. They're going to have a Dallas pick that's going to be in the 13 to 16 range. They're going to have their own pick, which will be in like the low mid-20s. They have 2 more Brooklyn picks in 2017 and 2018. And they have a Memphis pick that becomes unprotected around 2021. So they have a ton of assets. Durant. They could get Durant and Al Horford this summer. And if you're Durant and you're trying to win a title and you're like, screw that. Like, let's say he gets bounced in round 2. Let's say they just lose in round 2 and it's a really unhappy thing. And he's like, screw it. It's time for me to go. I want to go win a title. Where does he go that's a better situation than this Boston situation?
All right. So thanks to Bill Simmons for the piece on why the Celtics could technically sign him, and he's not wrong. They do have the cap space. They do have one of the best young coaches in the NBA, X's and O's guy. They do have the tradition. They have the pieces around that team. That one superstar there, one superstar away from immediately contending for a title. That superstar being Kevin Durant would make them, I would believe, an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference at that point compared to next season. God knows what the hell happens with the Cavs. Wouldn't count the Cavs out at any point, though. So, KD to Boston, Francis, is going to be circulating as much as KD to San Antonio, KD to Golden State, the Clippers, the Lakers. It's very similar to Messi to PSG, Messi to Manchester United. The difference is we likely know he's going to move. It does not work in Oklahoma City. I would actually be surprised at this point if he did re-sign.
Yeah, and so I've been a fan of Boston Celtics for a while. Like I mean, I'm not a team that I follow religiously in that league, but it's a team where their fans are so passionate, and why the fans are so passionate is because they've been engraved in success, right? They've been one of the most popular franchises in this sport. They've had some of the most, they've had some of the, especially during the era of recent, where it's the last era of success with Rondo, Garnett, Pierce, and Ray Allen, a really dynamic team that provided that really engraved culture of basketball with success. So when you look at someone like Kevin Durant and you see that he notices that, right, and people think that doesn't play a part, of course it plays a part. Why, and I don't care to make this reference, does everyone still want to go to Real Madrid when they're not technically the best team in the world? Because they are rooted with success, they're rooted with legacy. A team like Boston Celtics and Los Angeles Lakers, they're rooted within the culture of basketball. That is just a fact. You don't need to be known. I don't care if you're Bill Simmons, known it forever, or you're me coming in as a newer fan. That's just known. You know that that's a franchise that's engraved in basketball culture in this country. So any player, yes, if they see potential, that they have talent, and they're bringing in, like when you've got players like Isaiah Thomas and Marcus Smart who are looking very good this year, and they're just missing that star power, which all the big name teams have. You've got LeBron as a star power for the Cavs. Steph Curry, yes, he's got partners with him. San Antonio adding in further star power to their team with Kawhi Leonard and bringing in LaMarcus Aldridge. That's what the Celtics are missing. So I do agree with Bill Simmons that they just need a player as such to push them over that line.
100%.
But I don't agree with him in saying that they're the perfect fit, because there is every team in the NBA would be ridiculously stupid if they didn't open their doors for Kevin Durant.
Every team in the NBA would sell their house for Kevin Durant. They'd sell the team. They do whatever they could to get him there. Now, the Celtics join a list of about 10 teams who could realistically sign
We're going to make
guy.
a bid for him.
We are. I'd love to. Well, he called us clowns. He
did.
probably won't
Forgot
want to
about
come
that.
here. We'd have to draft. We have to trade Ja'Cory and Bart in the booth.
Easy
Maybe.
trade.
Maybe get him.
Throw in everyone else.
And 2 future TYT employees for the Kevin
Ja'Cory,
Durant.
how excited are you if KD came?
Are you fucking kidding me? KD to the fucking Garden? Are you fucking kidding me? The kid's gonna fucking light it up. Are you kidding me? Brad fucking Stevens, the architect, you know what he can do with that talent? He's gonna fucking kill it. Are you kidding me? KD to Boston all the fucking way.
I love it. I love it. But that's the truth right there. Is unlike any team outside. Well, the Lakers fans could be freaking ruthless sometimes, but Boston fans, if he signed with the Celtics, look, any team, of course, would honor and fall in love with Kevin Durant. I actually think the Celtics fans would put up a statue of him before the first game of the season.
Yeah, I
how
can
much
see
they
it.
love KD.
Yeah.
But I would agree that the only thing I disagree with that is that the Golden State Warriors, if he wants to win a championship, are a better fit for Kevin Durant. San Antonio Spurs is a better fit for every player in the NBA. The Lakers have the money. The Clippers could sign and trade Blake Griffin, which would make our EP Dan the happiest man in the entire world. But if they can't sign and trade Blake Griffin, they can't actually afford Kevin Durant. So that would have to mean it's basically like we're going to replace one with the other, which gets complicated. The Washington Wizards are the hometown team, but there's no way in hell Kevin Durant is going there with Randy Whitman as the coach. The Knicks, I'm going to not live out that pipe dream. I was already crushed by LeBron James.
I was going to say.
And then there's 2 dark horse teams that I think also are in there. Again, 33% of the league's making a run at this guy. The Miami Heat, because Pat Riley knows what he's doing as a GM and could build around, can start to even build around a Kevin Durant with assets like Whiteside that can go, with assets like even old Dwayne Wade, who probably can sign for less and play another year. And lastly, the one I actually like the most, or I should say in the top 3, the Atlanta Hawks. Play a very similar Spurs-like system. The Bulls are also going to make a run at him. I mean, like, the Raptors are going to make a run at this guy.
Like,
the Bucks are going to make a run at this guy. You know what? Teams in Israel and Moscow and freaking FC Barcelona basketball is going to make a run at him. He is the most coveted free agent since LeBron James. Where do you think he's going to go? The Celtics are realistic. You can't argue against that, but do you think he'll end up there? Comment below with what you think about Kevin Durant. I'll leave a poll. I can only put in 4 teams, so I'll do my best to figure out what the best 4 teams will be.
Golden State. We'll
put the Clippers in, so Dan's happy too. At Francis_Maxwell, at JasonRuben91, at TYT Sports, and at Jabari Parker in the booth. Definitely not his Twitter handle. It's at Chasing Cash, I believe. We'll see you next time.